Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button and also turn on your post notifications so that you never miss another video. If you guys have been here already, y'all know how this goes. What's up, Sunflower Gang? Go ahead and comment down below your Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever type of media handles down below so that you can be featured at the end of the video. So let's get right into this. So today's video is going to be one of many videos I'm going to be adding to my channel. It's going to be Let's Talk. So this is going to be a chance where you guys can send me messages, DMs, emails, so on and so forth, to kind of just get some advice questions, and I'll be kind of here to just kind of talk to you about it and give you some of my personal experience, my own advice, because yeah, it's what I like to do. So the person that I'm going to be kind of responding to today had a very short message. It was not like too in detail, but overall it just basically says she wanted to know how to come out to her friends and family. She's 16 years old. She does still live with her parents. Her parents have been together for about 30 years. She's the only girl. She has 3 brothers, and she does not feel as though she sees herself with a man, and I guess her family's not like super religious at the same time. So I feel like there's a lot of gaps in that. Obviously the email was a little bit longer, but I just kind of pulled from it what I felt like was the most substantial. So what I'll say is this. When it comes to coming out, you have to do what's best for you. Because you are underage, you want to be as respectful as possible to your parents. Like, obviously, you're living in their household. I'm not telling you to change or hide who you are, but you need to be conscious and aware of the decisions that you're making. So I know when I was 16, whether I was messing around with girls or guys, which at the time I was only dealing with guys, that didn't matter to my parents. It didn't matter to my parents that I was messing with a girl or a guy. It mattered to them more that I was not sneaking out of the house, right, to go and see them, that I was not spending the night at their house and lying about it, that I was going on dates and actually letting my parents know where I was, who, what, when, where, and why, type of thing, right? So it's just really coming from a place of security. Your parents are always going to want to make sure you are okay 100% of the time. They also want to make sure that you are focused on life. Relationships can be extremely trying, extremely difficult, and when you have, like, I guess you're growing up, so you're coming into yourself, so it's just a lot of things that are happening. You're trying to get to know who you are along with trying to date. That is a lot, especially at 16. I think when you're 16, you're about, what, in 11th grade? Is it 10th or 11th grade? So you're right in the middle of kind of like, people are losing their virginities. A lot of people are coming into who they are. Women are cutting their hair. People, especially now, like, social media has just kind of blown up the whole age of being in high school. You won't even be looking back at pictures and saying, ew. You'll be looking back at pictures and like, damn, I was looking good, you know, versus me. Y'all don't want to see what I was looking like at 16. But nevertheless, if you do feel like this is something you want to kind of just let your parents know, I encourage doing it. I guess my question to you would be, are you nervous that they're going to reject it? Like, are your parents currently giving you, I guess, cues that they don't accept that type of lifestyle? And if that is the case, I'm not telling you to hide that, but I can clearly see that you come from a family that has been able to go through some stuff. If your parents have been married for 30 years, please believe me, your mom and your dad have experienced a lot. Hopefully you're closer to at least one of your parents. I would advise you to kind of go to them, you know, to kind of just let them know, like, hey, you know, I'm looking into dating. I'm not really sure. Like, it's always going to be an awkward conversation. But for me, I do have a closer parent that I just kind of share more things with, and that's okay. So if that is the case, I encourage you to just kind of, I don't know, maybe write a letter. And I know that sounds kind of weird. I'm better at like writing things down than kind of speaking, unless I'm in front of the camera, which is so weird. But when it comes to people that I care about, I have a really hard time. It's like literally right here, my throat gets clogged and I can't get anything out. So I'm really good at like writing things down. So I would maybe even write a letter like, hey, you know, I'm curious about my sexuality. I'm feeling like I may want to date women. Do you have an opinion about this? Do you have experience in this? And like, I don't know, open it up for dialogue. Dialogue. I don't know exactly how that conversation would go for you or what that looks like, but I encourage you to do it. At least get it off your chest. And if you don't feel comfortable going to a parent, you say you have 3 brothers. Who better to talk to about this? Like, Three brothers, first of all, they're gonna let you know the ins and out, or they should anyway, about dating and relationships. I don't know if they're older or younger than you, but if they are older than you, they would have a little bit more experience in relationships, so that will definitely be helpful, because dating men and dating women is identical. I want you to understand that. There is no difference. You are not gonna experience less heartache, less heartbreak, less joy, or all the other things that kind of come with the relationship because you are choosing to date women, right? So I would advise maybe speaking to them if you are not at the point where you want to go to your parents first. Talk to your siblings about it, get an idea, because sometimes your siblings are just as against things like that as your parents, and sometimes they're for it. So you never really know, but that should be your safe space, right? Use your family as your safe space. If you have not already expressed this to a friend, talk to a friend about it and really just kind of sort things out. I don't want you to feel so pressured that this is a concrete decision. You know, you hear all the time where people are like, oh, this is a phase. I don't call anything a phase in life. I feel like it's an experience, a journey. You go through it, and sometimes you come out and change your mind. So that's okay. If you're wanting to kind of experience right now, the biggest thing for me is that you're being safe and that you are being treated well. So if you are experiencing, you know, whatever feelings towards that woman or whatever, or that girl, that's okay. You know, flirt, do what it is that you're doing, but make sure that you're safe. There are a lot of STDs out there. Let's just put that in the air. There are a lot of STDs. There are a lot of other things. And because you guys are both growing up, you guys will probably find solace in each other, especially if she has not come out to her friends or her family yet. So I understand how that bonding experience works. But if you're nervous about doing that, try it on the small scale. Like I said, write those letters, maybe to your siblings, one or two, and just kind of have that conversation. You need some type of safe space so that you can kind of ask other things. I feel like the most critical part in your life is going to be now, especially when it comes to relationships. If I had a little bit more conversations maybe with my family as opposed to friends, like older siblings, cousins, aunties, and things like that, about the relationships and the dating that I wanted to do during that time period, I definitely would have saved myself a whole hell of a lot of headache down the line, because I would have understood that, oh, okay, so this is normal for people to do X, Y, and Z. Or no, this is not normal, because you won't really have a real idea what the difference between the toxic and a healthy relationship with. I guess you won't really have a real idea of what a toxic versus a healthy relationship looks like until around this age, where you're kind of starting to date, and then even into your 20s you won't even really know. So I'm not even really making this response about your sexuality, because it's not something that you should necessarily have to announce, right? When women or guys decide that, oh, I'm gonna have a girlfriend or I'm gonna have a boyfriend, and it's like of the opposite sex, people don't ask them like, why do you like girls? That's like, you know, that's not a conversation. So I don't feel like that's something you have to do. If that's something you want to do, then that's awesome. You can share, right? Like, but you don't have to share if you don't want to. It's just a matter of what's your reason for wanting to let them know, right? Think about that, and then just kind of assess if you're ready to do that. Or if you just decide, like I did, that I'm just going to go ahead and bring my girlfriend over, like, hey mom, I'm going on a date. This is where I'm going to be. And she's like, oh, well, who are you with? And let her figure it out on her own. Let your dad figure it out on their own. I don't know, like that may even be better. Just kind of bring it up. Like, just not even literally like verbally bring it up, but just let it happen. Like, they'll see what's going on. They will see what's going on, and more than likely they will come to you about it. And I'm kind of making light of this situation because I feel like this experience is supposed to be exciting. This is supposed to be a happy moment for you, and I don't want to think so negatively to just say like, oh, they're gonna shoot it down. And you said that they weren't really in the church. I think that the church gets a bad stigma on the way that they view relationships that are of the same sex, because I know so many people that are of the church that, you know, still experience and accept people as they are. So I don't want you to kind of use that as like I don't know, kind of like fire or adding fuel to the fire, because it should not, for any reason, whether they love God or they have no acknowledgement for that, that will not change their love for you. And I want you to keep that in mind. So regardless of what they may think of other people, you are still their child. They're still going to love you 100%, no matter what it is that you decide. They may feel a little weird, but that's going to be normal, because your parents ultimately want the best for you. Keep that in mind. They want the best for you, and they ultimately just want to see you happy. Sometimes they can be a little selfish in their decisions. So if they do kind of give you a response of like, oh, that's unacceptable, a lot of times it comes from a place of them wanting grandchildren, or it's a very selfish place a lot of times when you do get that negative experience. But I don't want to kind of go too deep into this because you did not give me all the details, but I will definitely say good luck. If you want to ask me more questions, I do have a coming out story, you know, where I'm kind of letting you know how my situation went. Obviously, I'm dating a guy right now, so that's not really something that I'm having too much trouble with in regards to like the women. But like I said, you go through the same stuff whether it's male or female. Nothing really changes outside of the sexual differences, but outside of that, people are people. You kind of deal with the same stuff. So I don't know, I hope this helps. Definitely, if everybody else out there, if you do have questions that you want to ask me, it can literally be anything. It could be dramatic or very simple, from school to work, regular relationships, romantic relationships, or just self-love stuff. Let me know. Definitely send me a message, or you can put it in the comment section. If you want everybody to see it, that's fine. We can just open dialogue. But nevertheless, I hope this helped you a ton. I love you guys so much. Stay pretty. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, babies.